Hi everybody, how's it going today? Thanks for watching another video. I'm in our calf barn here this morning, but before we get into the video, I want to share a couple things with you guys. A couple days ago, my wife had a ultrasound appointment, and we are expecting a little girl, we found out. It's going to be a few months still, but exciting. We've got two boys, so now the third will be a girl. Excited to share that with you guys. I actually kind of had a feeling it's been a girl, but my wife was pretty shocked because she was thinking boy the whole time. So really excited to share that with you guys. And the other big news I wanted to share with you is that Cows & Co Creamery, my sister and brother-in-law, they if you guys have been following along, they make gelato, which is an Italian style ice cream, and Gouda cheese from milk from our cows. And they've been shipping Gouda cheese for a while now, and they recently started shipping their gelato. I think it's 10 pints in a shipping container, so you have to pick from 10 pints. I actually haven't went on there myself. Maybe I should have done that before I shot this video, but I'm not sure if you can pick your flavors or if they're predetermined. But if you're interested in trying gelato, you're a little further away than North Dakota, go on their website, cowsandcocreamery.com, and I think it's linked in every video in the description. You guys go on there, place your order if you want to try some gelato that's made with milk from our cows. It's really good. They do a really good job. A lot of different flavors all the time. They're always making changes in the flavors that they offer. And the Gouda cheese as well, excellent cheese, very good. They do a really good job over there. I'm in the calf barn here this morning. Usually I will check all the calves every morning. I've been gone for a couple days. I was in Wisconsin at was like a dairy school, I guess, but we also toured a couple farms. One of the farms was extremely impressive, milking over 7,000 cows. Cows looked really good, really nice cows. Herd average was over 100 pounds with similar components as our herd. So it's always fun to see some really well-run dairy operations, because that gives me some ideas on where we need to improve, and that we still definitely have a lot we can improve on. This farm looked like a very well-run farm. Everything had its place. Everything looked nice and neat and clean. And I really appreciate that, because I know that it takes a lot of work to keep things in that condition. So it was really fun. The farmer gave the tour. Actually, it was a fairly large group of us. It was two big buses, probably 50-60 people. The farmer himself, the owner, his family-owned farm, he gave the tour, answered any questions that anybody had. So it was really fun. Got to go through the barns, get out, see their maternity area. It was an area that I really liked on their farm. Where they're calving cows, they immediately milk the colostrum, get the best colostrum for their calves, and then immediately feed colostrum to the calves. Something I'd like to possibly implement on our farm if we can make that work. But it was long drive. 9-10 hours there, 9-10 hours back, but definitely was worth my time, because it was fun to see the farms. But in our calf barn here this morning, just wanted to look at the calves, and I have to take a look at our colostrum unthawing machine. When I was on my way home last night, our herdsman sent me a message that it was giving an alarm. And I didn't get home until 11:30 or so I thought I'd check it in the morning. It was working still, but not like it should be, only for a short time. I have a pretty good idea what the problem is, but we'll once we open it up, I'll kind of show you what we're dealing with. And I also recently ordered a new unthawing machine for our colostrum. I'll talk a little bit more about it when I'm in there, but the one we have now, it's over 10 years old, just starting to show its age, having little things here and there go wrong, and colostrum really needs to be fed as soon as possible at the right temperature to the calves, and we need the machine to work properly to do that consistently. So I thought it was time to upgrade to a new machine. So it actually arrived here just before I left. So we'll need to look at the fittings on it and need to check the power cord on it, because I think we need to swap cords or ends on the cord anyways. But we'll try to get that hooked up today. It's my plan anyways. Make sure that that's running like it should be. So we've got the jackets on the calves. It's been not extremely cold, but below freezing at night, above freezing during the day. Looks like she kicked her jacket off. She's gonna get a new one. Calves are doing pretty good, even with the temperature changes that sometimes can be a concern, especially if you're going really warm, really cold. Issues with pneumonia really can start to creep up, but so far calves are doing pretty good. They're looking good. Got the jackets on them to keep them warm at night. Which, if you've been following for a while, you know this barn is not heated, but it is insulated. Get them out of the wind. That's a big deal. That's part of the reason why we have a good success in this barn, is just to get them out of those elements. Cold temperature doesn't bother them if they drink enough milk, if they get milk. If we put a jacket on the younger calves, so 2 weeks and under, then after that point they're really eating and drinking enough to sustain their body temperatures even when temperatures drop below 0 Fahrenheit. But we'll head over to our Colostrum pasteurizing machine. I'll show you what we've got going on there. So this is the Colostrum thawing machine that we've had here for the last, I don't know, 12 years or so, I think. So we're good the entire time we've had it, but we have started having some issues, just several issues, and I can maybe open that up. I have to look in there anyway. So we're getting a system motor sensor error. Usually what can happen is the belt's broke, but just by moving that, telling me that's not the issue, then it could be the sensor. So we'll pop the bolts off and take a look inside. What we've also had happen is this little piece here, this runs by that sensor that's telling it when to turn off, but it doesn't look like the sensor is working. So I'm thinking it's probably the motor itself, more than likely, or we've got a wire broken. I have repaired a few wires in here, just getting brittle from how old it is, and we've got so it uses hot water, plus it uses heating elements on this side and the other side. Where some of them on the other side, the wires have been corroded off, and you can see here there's quite a bit of corrosion on these two. Just, you can see there's corrosion on all this stuff. I'm thinking the problem is likely the motor sensor is bad. Sometimes what happens is this sensor comes loose and then it doesn't sense when it's going around, and then it thinks the motor is bad, but now it's actually not going around. So I'd either that or a wire, but I'm not going to try looking for it. I'm just going to install the new one. But you can see there's quite a bit of corrosion on some of this stuff. You got some rust on these relays here. I think it's done its job well for the last 10 years, but colostrum, I think it's one of the most important things for the calves. Getting colostrum to them quickly, high quality colostrum, and it's got to be the right temperature. You don't want it to be too cold, you definitely don't want it to be too hot, because they're not going to absorb it like they should and get all the benefits out of it. So this is something that we need to take care of and make sure that it's running all the time and working like it should be. So we'll kind of felt this coming, because I think there was a 2-3 month waiting period for this. But it's been little things here and there kind of consistently, and I thought it was time to replace it. So this is what we're replacing it with. It's actually a little bit of a smaller unit. That is a 4. That can handle 4. This one is 3, but really we don't ever have more than 2. It's 1 or 2 that we're unthawing at the same time, because as soon as a calf is born, we unthaw it, feed it to the calf, and if there's 2 calves born in close right next to each other, we'll put 2 in there, but otherwise we're just doing 1. And we don't pasteurize. We pasteurized in the past when we started with this system, but we had issues with the colostrum being lumpy, not wanting to flow out of the bags that it's stored in very well, so we kind of went away from that. at that time when we decided to get away from pasteurizing our colostrum, we decided to really focus on cleanliness instead. Handling the colostrum, from milking it from the cow, sampling it, putting it in the containers. So our milk used to be part of the role that our milkers did. We made that part of our herd health team's job. So one of our herdsmen is there in the parlor, milking the colostrum, sampling it, putting it in bags, and then putting it in the freezers. Responsibility in feeding the colostrum, especially on that end too. Make sure that when you're going to the calf, you've got clean gloves. You grab the colostrum with clean hands, put it in the unthawing unit because it is in water. Want to make sure that that water stays clean. And I've had really good success with that versus pasteurizing. I went with the 3 unit because I figured if we ever wanted to go and try pasteurizing again, they do have a 3 unit pasteurizing unit. So we could put 2 side by side, use one for thawing, one for pasteurizing only, to keep one machine available for thawing all the time, because pasteurizing obviously takes longer if we've got one, because they've got bigger units. I think they've got a 6 unit and a 12 unit. But if you've got a 6 unit and you're pasteurizing 4 bags of colostrum, it may take an hour or whatever the time period is. If you have calves being born in that time period, you can't unthaw colostrum for them. So, and cost-wise, obviously the thawing unit is less expensive than the pasteurizing unit. Since we're not pasteurizing, I didn't feel it made sense to spend the money on that today or 2-3 months ago. So that's how we ended up with this unit here, really small, compact, and we'll easily be able to handle the amount of calves we have being born. We have maybe average 5-6 calves a day. So if that's spread out throughout the day, typically, obviously we have days where there's more, but that's the average. But I started draining the water out of this. It's just about empty. I think it is pretty much empty now. Swapping plug-ins, gonna put the right plug-in on. I do need to hook up the water cord. So this one actually, it was hot water and cold water, and that was mainly for pasteurizing purposes, to heat that water temperature up quicker. This one here is only cold water, and then there's a heating element in the system, so it's electrically heating the water. This one was both electric and hot water. I was told it's not going to make a difference as far as how long it will take, but we'll see once we get going on this. It's supposed to take around 20 minutes or so to unthaw the bag of colostrum, which is pretty much what this one was taking. So I'm going to finish getting that plug-in switched over. We'll pull this one out of the way. The water connection is not quite the same, so I might have to get an adapter. I'm going to get it closer and see, because I think I might be able to pull an adapter off this old one and use it on the new one. So we'll see when I get it in place there, get those hoses disconnected. I did print off the instructions, but it looks pretty straightforward to me. Just hook everything up like it's supposed to, and then turn it on, get the settings set, and then we'll do a test run on it. Got it kind of in the place where I want it. I did, that adapter is going to work that I was able to pull off of this one. I don't remember where, oh, here it is. So it's a 3/4 inch pipe thread, and then I've got this garden hose, so it's a washing machine hose actually. So we can connect this to the hose that's on there, and then to the hose, and we do have to get it set level here. It needs to be level all 4 ways, and then it needs to slope just a touch to the left because the drain is on the left if we ever need to drain it empty. So we'll do that now, kind of like where it's sitting now, pretty similar to where the other one was. Good access all around. We'll be able to swing this open if we need. Got it plugged in, water's hooked up. Turned it on, we've got power. Now we need to wait for it to fill up. Looks like it only fills if the lid's closed. So we'll wait to fill it up, and then I'm going to put a colostrum cartridge in there right away. Because Lupe just brought a calf in here that was just born. Heifer calf just born, brought into the nursery here. I think we're ready to go. We'll try one for that calf that was just born. So we've got them dated 29th from the 30th. Put the oldest ones in first, obviously. Just slide right in there. You have to lock it in. Close it. Thaw. One. Number of cartridges in this cycle. 1. Looks like it's heating. We'll see how long it takes. The water is cold at the moment, so it's going to take a while to get up to temperature. Should have filled it with hot water. I think maybe I'll do that because otherwise it's going to take forever to get up to temperature. Just going to drain this water, fill it with hot water, and then restart it, I think. Otherwise it's showing it's going to take 40 minutes, so that's going to be a while. So when a calf is born, we move the calves into this connecting alley, or nursery essentially is what we call it, as quickly as possible. Get them out of the barn, out of the straw, out of the manure where the cows are. Each calf goes into a clean pen with a new bale of straw with a powder that we put down that absorbs moisture. And then we will feed 4 liters of colostrum within an hour, within 30 minutes preferably, but within an hour of birth. They'll get a tag, vaccine, 2 vaccines actually, probiotic, and then they'll get another 2 liters of colostrum 12 hours later if they want to drink it. Some of these smaller calves don't want to drink yet at that point, so we give 4 liters at birth, and we use an esophageal feeder. So we tube the calf with 4 liters. Want to get, really the only way to know that the calf got high quality colostrum and how much is to do it that way. Tried feeding calves with bottles really before we started using this system, but always had trouble with calves not drinking. And really since going to this system, calves have done really good on our farm. Really eliminated a lot of the health issues that we've seen at 2, 3, 4 weeks of age. And then given that extra feeding of colostrum, there's another benefit to the calf, and there are some studies to show that even transition milk, so the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th milking of the cow, feeding that to the calves is beneficial. Looking into ways to, we are doing that already, because we're collecting milk for our calves when we're milking our fresh pen, because they're milked last prior to washing the tank, or washing the milk lines, I mean. So we are doing some of that already, but finding a way to target just that milk to the youngest calves, I think if there was a way to do that, I think that would be beneficial, but haven't quite found the right way to do that, because that takes some extra logistics, some extra work for our guys. But that's how our calves are handled after birth. And then they'll be in this, so the floor is heated in here, they'll be in this for a day or 2 in the winter time, maybe 3 depending on how cold the temperatures are. We want to make sure that calf is good and dry, drinking milk before she goes into the calf barn. In the summertime they're in here just for a day, so they'll get their second feeding of colostrum, and then after that they go out into the barn right away. So we're essentially just using that pen once we go through the barn. We clean it out completely, pressure wash it, get it ready for the next group of calves. Been thawing it here for it's been about 10 minutes. I didn't realize, but Lupe had a bag of colostrum on thawing in a bucket to the side, so Not sure what I'm going to do with this 4 liters of colostrum. I think I'll just leave it, see if a calf is born in the next 30 minutes to an hour. Otherwise I'll have them use it as a second feeding colostrum to the calves that still need to get a second feeding of colostrum. We've got about 4 minutes left, and got an alert on the top there. It's showing operating in air safe mode. I called about that because I couldn't really figure out what the issue was. But I can't see what the error is until it's done the thawing cycle. It's a code that doesn't affect the thawing cycle, so it just keeps going, but then you can see what it is after the cycle is what I was told. So we'll find out what that is here in about 4 minutes. I did want to wait until it did a cycle completely. I want to see what it looks like on the screen, because we're going to have to retrain our guys on how to use this a little bit different than the other one was. But just as simple, you just select thaw, how many units are in there, and then it starts, and then you wait until it says complete, essentially. So I think I'll end this video here. If you guys have questions, comments, post them down below, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.